Welcome to Dodgers Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in here on a Sunday morning, a glorious Sunday morning after the Dodgers got back in the win column last night in a big way. They beat the A's 10-0, and they exploded there late in the game last night. It was great to see to move to 64-47 on the season and maintain a 4.5 game lead in the NL West over the Padres, 5 over the D-backs, and another big one is that they are 3 games ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers when you're looking at all the wild card situations. If you're wanting to follow whether the Dodgers are in jeopardy of having to play in that wild card round, something of which best of 3 is always scary. But with the Dodgers pitching, adding Jack Flaherty, they are a little bit better shaped, especially if Tyler Glasnow continues to be healthy. And then YoshinobuYamamoto through a bullpen here as of late, so that would really help. So, hey, today's show, this is just going to be kind of a lightning round of some of the biggest news events surrounding Dodgers baseball and some of the things that have happened in the last week and some of the things that you need to know that are getting ready to happen here coming in the next week. So, okay, let's start with the game last night. Let's start with one of the Dodgers' best players as of late, and that is Gavin Lux. MookieBetts is going to play some simulated games this week. He's starting to take ground balls again. So I know a lot of people think, hey, maybe he should move to second base or maybe back to right field. If Miguel Rojas gets healthy, or Tommy Edman or Nick Ahmed, whoever it would be, put them at shortstop, put MookieBetts at second base and or right field. So at that point, what do you do with Gavin Lux? Gavin Lux continues to rake. He got another big 2 RBI hit last night. That means that he moved his hit streak now to 8 games in a row. And since July 11th, how hot has Gavin Lux been? Since July 11th, he is 21 for 54 with 4 home runs, 5 doubles, and 50 RBIs, 15 RBIs, I should say. And that is since July 11th. He has a .983 fielding percentage, which is 15th best of all second basemen in the major league. So he's been a good defensive player at second base. He has been an exceptional offensive player for coming up on now a month. Now, that window has to continue. There's going to be a lot of hard decisions to make, and I think it's going to come down to, can Gavin Lux continue to hit? Do the Dodgers believe this is something that's permanent, or is this just something to where he got extremely hot, and then it's going to go away and return to the Gavin Lux that we saw for the first 3 quarters of whatever this season has been. So that's going to be an interesting situation. And again, MookieBetts taking ground balls and is going to play in a simulated game this week with a lot of the other guys, players in the Dodgers system that are on the IL. So FreddieFreeman, we all know about the terrible news about his son, Maximus Freeman. And now FreddieFreeman, hey, the club told him, take as long as you need, stay away, take care of your family. The Dodgers do this all the time. As a matter of fact, one of their Double-A pitching coaches, Ryan Denick, had a baby. His wife had a baby earlier this year, and they gave him, I think, 2 or 3 weeks to go home and be with his family. The Dodgers always put people first, and they are going to continue to do this with FreddieFreeman. But the news came out this week from Jack Harris that Dave Roberts said FreddieFreeman could rejoin the club with the Phillies this week. No exact return date has been announced yet, but that is good news in terms of FreddieFreeman getting back onto the baseball field. For the Dodgers, Walker Buehler is in rehab, and I know it surprised a lot of people the way he has not been pitching well in Oklahoma City. I think it surprised some people that the Dodgers announced he's going to have one more rehab outing. He got put on the IL in late June, mid to late June. I think it's like June 16th, June 19th, something like that. And so Dodgers fans are like, why do you bring him up if he's not getting out AAA hitters? Well, he's taking a spot on the 40-man roster. So if you're going to want that 40-man roster spot back so you could possibly go acquire somebody maybe in a DFA trade setting or a DFA waiver setting, you might want that roster spot back. So you throw Walker Buehler out there. You hope that he fixes himself. You hope that a major league setting does a lot of good for him in terms of adrenaline and focus and execution. But if not, then you can possibly reclaim that 40-man spot back and move on and improve your margins from that perspective. As it sits, him taking a spot on a 40-man roster and sitting in AAA Oklahoma City, he is doing the Los Angeles Dodgers no good whatsoever in that role. So let's either find out, is he going to fix himself and can he help the Dodgers this year, or can he not? And if he can't, the Dodgers need to move on and reclaim that roster spot. Bobby Miller was scratched from his last start. I don't have any inside information on that. And, hey, here's the deal that's kind of frustrating about AAA Oklahoma City. Not just them, but just kind of the influx and all the craziness surrounding all the injuries. They go day by day when they announce they're to be announced. Pitchers, the probable starters for the next day. So you can't, go down the line and see when Bobby Miller is scheduled to pitch again. So we're going to be in the dark on the Bobby Miller situation. His last outing, I was there and in person, saw it with my own eyes. The scoreboard did not look good. I actually covered this. There were some things he did well, some things that made me a little bit more hopeful than people that probably just looked at the box score and didn't see the actual outing. So I think we're going to be in the dark on Bobby Miller as far as when he will return. They did, they scratch him from his last start. So, hey, I will stay on top of that. I will use my sources to see if I can find anything out. And when I do, I will report back to you with that. So, hey, there is some more help coming on along the way. BrusdarGraterol, who reached 99 miles an hour, and I believe it's his third outing. He's gone back-to-back several different times. It has been reported that he might return this week. And then also Michael Grove, who reached 99 last night, his first back-to-back with AAA Oklahoma City. He had a little bit rough of an outing. The outing before, which would have been on Friday night, but last night it was zeros again, and he's been zeros for every single outing except for that one I talked about on Friday that went a little bit sideways. In terms of Graterol, he's also had one rough outing, which, hey, it happens in a rehab setting. I talked to Brusdar, asked these guys this question. They don't even really know who the hitters are. They don't really even know what the game plan is. They don't even really have a game plan. They're just throwing their sequences and trying to get the feel of it. So sometimes rehab outings do go a little bit sideways, nothing to worry about. So Graterol and Grove both had one sideways outing. But other than that, they have hung zeros and both have hit 99, and they both might return this week. In terms of Ryan Brazier, he threw last night as well. It's been reported that his return is going to be a little bit longer than the other two. So there are three pretty high leverage arms. And it's been also stated, I think, when Michael Grove comes back, maybe not high leverage, but he's going to play a position that the Dodgers really need now that they DFA'd Ryan Yarbrough and he is no longer in the system. They need that long inning relief guy to bridge the games to where maybe a starter doesn't. So, if a starter doesn't pitch well, instead of Dave feeling like he has to ride it out and just take the lump for that game and lose a game, a guy like Michael Grove will give him the flexibility to get that starter out, save the game while you're maybe down just 2, maybe 3 runs, and then throw in a guy like Michael Grove and consider him like a piggyback guy that can knock down bulk innings to bridge it to your high leverage guy. So an arm like Michael Grove that can reach 99, has the big knuckle curve and the plus slider. Very valuable, especially if they are going to use him in long relief to be able to bridge those types of games and take a lot of pressure off of the high relief leverage arms for the Dodgers that have worn down a touch. We've seen that with Evan Phillips, Blake Trinan, Daniel Hudson from time to time. So good that I think it's imminent that Graterol and Grove are back. We'll see about Ryan Brazier. Anything that I find out, I will let you know. How about Michael Kopech? The stuff plus in terms of the velo, the movement, and comparing that to all the other pitchers in the major leagues is through the roof. It's going to come down to, can he handle the high pressure, high leverage situations he's going to be given with the Dodgers, and can he throw enough strikes to be effective? He has looked great in his 2 outings so far. He has looked, as a matter of fact, dominant and like a guy that could end up being the closer that I know a lot of Dodgers fans need. So let's continue to monitor Michael Kopech. We've always known the stuff was there. It's going to come down to execution for him. And I know a lot of people feel like with the Dodgers elite pitching instruction lab, they will fix that execution. And if they do, you have a bona fide superstar type closer in terms of the raw ability that he has. And then how about Jack Flaherty? The trade deadline has already paid quite a bit of fruits. We saw Kevin Kiermaier play really good defense in his outing the other night, cut off a double and kept the A's from scoring. It was a game that the Dodgers did lose, but they would have been down even more if Kevin Kiermaier had not cut off a couple of those ground balls that could have turned into doubles. So then you have Michael Kopech as well. And then how about Jack Flaherty? You have a Dodgers team that is struggling. What does an ace need to do? One of the biggest roles for an ace is to be that stopper. Jack Flaherty was that guy last night. Hey, it wasn't perfect. There were the box score ended up being perfect, but there were crisis moments. So how do you gain the respect of your teammates? One is whenever all hell has broke loose and the Dodgers aren't playing well, can you say, hey, give me the damn ball, let me take the mound, and the Dodgers are going to go win tonight? He did that for the Dodgers last night. Stopped a really rough patch, so he was the stopper. And then another thing is to gain respect and to gain that leadership type mentality from as far as all your other teammates looking towards you. In the crisis moments, you got to come through. Your teammates have to know when the game matters the most and the biggest parts of the game, that's when you do your best work. And I think Jack Flaherty showed that. And then he also showed his very good pitchability. He does not give freebies. And then he also has a lot of swing and miss to his stuff. So I thought Jack Flaherty absolutely showed to be the ace that we all hope he can be. Let's hope the 2 back injections hold and that he can stay healthy for the rest of the year and continue to pitch like he did last night. So coming up for the Dodgers, a huge stretch. Okay, the Padres are on their heels, so are the D-backs. Padres probably have the easier schedule, but coming up for the Dodgers, you've got the Phillies, you got the Padres, you got the Pirates, Brewers, Cards, Mariners, Rays, Orioles, and then D-backs. That's quite a stretch. And so I think we're going to know a lot more about this team when the calendar flips to September. It is getting that time. Down the stretch we come with some great Dodgers baseball. It's a great day to be a Dodger.